Hello, Lassi. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. Thanks for asking. Very busy at the moment, as you can imagine, but yeah, it's good kind of busy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
doing well, thanks.
So let's start from the fact that Neverfade signed a deal with King 2 Music. So
hmm
what can you tell about this? How did it happen? And how is going to help Neverfade?
Well, yes, what we did, was it last month? I think it was last month. We finally signed. Actually came to be because we're part of the New Wave of Finnish Heavy Metal Alliance, and our colleagues from Crow's Flight signed with them last year when they released their album through King to Music, and I was speaking to Marco from Crow's Flight about it, and they said that they were happy with how King to Music is helping them with everything, and they have a good relationship with them, and I reached out then to Michael over at King to Music, who's kind of running some of the show there together with Lars, who is our kind of first point of contact. And yeah, so at that point we didn't have anything ready to publish. It was a few months ago, and we had already released our album, the Thieves in the Night album, and so we kind of left it at that. So that we had a discussion, and we talked, and the chemistry was kind of there, and then and we made an agreement that okay, when we have something to show, then we'll get back to the guys at the label. Then in December we recorded two new singles. One of which is out today. We can talk about those in a bit, but and then and we are recording a third one currently. And I reached out to Kington Music and said, hey, we have these singles ready, and we'd love to release them from like through your label. And what ended up happening then is that we signed a deal for these singles and a full length album with them, and which is then planned. We don't have a strict plan for it yet, but it's quite a ways off yet, so don't expect anything in the next coming months. But yeah, so then we came to an agreement on the contract, and we're very happy with it. We're super happy to be part of the Kingdom Music roster. They're doing a bang up job in that regard, and they have this amazing network, especially in like South America and the States, and they have all this distribution for in the United States and in the UK and across the Latin America markets and all this, and even Asian markets, and they're really a global operator. So it feels like a next step for us, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, we released the single today, so this is very much a kind of first first effort that we're doing, but the goal is to get more reach, and we're just five guys who all have day jobs, so we can't be yeah, we don't have the reach and the know-how and the connections and the time to we can only further our band to a certain extent. So we're super happy to have Kingdom Music help us with that.
So the revolution start. And talking about revolution,
Yeah.
let's talk about your new single that is named Revolution. What can you tell about this song, about musically and lyrically, and how was the songwriting process?
Yeah, so Revolution, it's a track written by me. Um, it's one of the kind of these tracks that. So when we did our first album, a lot of those tracks, almost all of those tracks, were like written way before we even started the band, right? And those were kind of old songs that we then rehearsed and kind of bent up into shape. This is the first new song we've made as a group, kind of. Um, the writing process was, well, uh, I don't recall. It's probably over 1 year or even more old, like when I first made the kind of first draft of it. But I wanted to make it this kind of mid-tempo song rather than just, fast and furious kind of a way. I wanted to do a kind of mid-tempo metal anthem in the style of like 80s Judas Priest and that kind of a stadium metal kind of a vibe. And the song was born from that. It's gone through quite a bit of like iterations once we started rehearsing it as a band, as we started arranging it. Like some parts, we wanted to, what we've gotten really better at in the last, let's say, year or so is our kind of arrangement process and what the song is when I, for example, write it compared to what it is when it's kind of ready. And so we spend a lot of time together at the rehearsal space, going through like part by part, what can happen here, what is it missing, this part is not necessarily like good, let's make something interesting happen here, and that sort of thing. And then arranging the kind of vocal things, I put a lot of focusing to kind of the pre-production of what kind of harmonies do we want, and what's like I had a clear vision of in my mind that I want to do a kind of Queen-like layered vocal stuff in certain bits of the song, which I think turned out really well. So yeah, we put a lot of effort into this, and all of the singles that we're releasing this spring. So this was a kind of new way of working for us. And then we also did a lot of pre-production. So we once we had rehearsed the songs, we then rehearsed it without the drummer, just the guitar and bass players, and then we recorded the song as in if we were in studio, but we recorded it at our rehearsal space. And then even in that phase, we could figure out, okay, well, this doesn't work. We need to change some stuff here and here, smaller things, but still. So once we got to studio, we exactly knew what we want to do. We had gotten feedback from our producer already. We sent the demos to our producer, Lassi, and he had a listen and he had some thoughts on like, okay, some minor things we changed there and some sound things and some vocal things that we worked on while recording. But it was a very much a kind of a well rehearsed package once we got to the kind of official recording phase. Um, when it comes to the lyrics, I was just speaking about this today with a friend of mine um, who listened to the song. My friend asked me, "Is this about all the Epstein Trump stuff?" And I was like, "Well, no, because I wrote the lyrics like over a year ago, probably in 2024, and it's sad that they're even more topical now than they were, a year and a half ago." The song is about like speaking through to power, a revolution, about the rise of authorities, like a rise of authoritarianism. Is that the word? Like kind of
Yeah.
this, yeah, that kind of autocracy and this sort of like um, tyranny even, um, and the world being like the initial thing, the initial thought when I was writing this is that like, okay, well, where's this voice of the common people? We're all being, ruled over by these mega corporations and slaves to the fucking Facebooks and Amazons of the world. And that was kind of where it started from, but it's kind of evolved into, well, with the world political situations all around being what it is, like, these autocrats and wannabe tyrants and wannabe strongmen, popping up here and there. It's about rising up and making your voice heard and fighting back. And I'm not expecting this to lead into any sort of a real revolution, but maybe it gives people a little bit of energy to raise their pump their fists up in the air and say enough is enough, right? So
Yeah, yeah. So very current topic, uh, even if you wrote in the past, but it's always current topic, I think, because the revolution is always needed at some point
yeah,
to
and I
change
mean
things.
we're not a political band in the sense that you can be a supporter of whatever as long as it's not if as long as you're not a Nazi, like then you can go fuck yourself, excuse my French, but like you can be of any kind of we don't want to exclude anybody from our audience. And if it
Mhm.
bothers
Yeah.
you that's my like that has been my thoughts on like when I've been writing these lyrics and how I feel about the song now, you can it would very like as well it fits into a historical context. If you look into like you could as easily say that this is about the French Revolution, because the revolution is always it always starts the same, the common people of you know being trampled and they rise up. So you can look at it from different angles, right? So
Yeah, it could be a music revolution.
yeah, even that, with AI being a thing,
Mhm.
you could think of
Yeah,
it from
yeah,
that way.
yeah. There are so many things that you can you can image that the song is about if you
Yeah,
want, and that's the beauty of music is that people can make the music, the song, um, with their vision. They have their own vision of that. And then sometimes it's interesting, sometimes there are songs that singers or artists in general didn't want to tell what the song is about. They want just people to have their own vision, and then everybody is different in that, putting the different meaning to lyrics and music. So that's hard. So
yeah.
yeah,
And I mean, I'm interested in hearing what people kind of think about when they hear the lyrics. And obviously, I mean, it is kind of over the top in the sense that, like, it's like the writing process was. I want to make a heavy metal anthem that it's, has a sing along chorus and, raise your hands, use your voice. It's so it is very kind of on that sense of, classic heavy metals. It doesn't have to have a political message. It can just be, fuck the police, fuck the
yeah,
authorities.
yeah.
That's sort of a rebel song. So.
Have you received any feedback from the song so far today?
Well, a bit, yeah. Mostly from friends and that sort of our closer circle. It's a bit early days still because like it came out today. It's been a day of looking at the streaming numbers and all of that, and it seems to be performing okay. We'll see how it goes. But it's been very positive, right? And I wasn't expecting. Well, maybe someone comes into our social media and tells us to go fuck ourselves. I don't. You can do that. If you don't like it, let us know. I'm very interested in hearing if you don't. If someone doesn't like it, what don't they like about it? That's more um, constructive to me than just people saying, "Hey, I love the song. I really love it." But I also appreciate that a lot. We've gotten a lot of love from like our fans that we kind of our fans and our families and our friends and everyone has been very psyched about the song. I don't think my mom has stopped listening to it since the morning, so she's probably 50% of the
Fan number
streams today.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have listened to the song. I think 1 hour before this interview, so I need to listen again. Uh, and I think that I'm not going to listen today because I think that I'm too tired to get all the nuances that you need to have your brain. This morning I was okay, let's listen to the new songs, but I managed just, I think, 4 songs
Hmm,
this morning to listen while I was going to work. uh, New,
that's
because
okay. It's
but I'm going to listen more, um, with a fresh ear, because today also the songs that I have listened this morning, yeah, I need to do it again, because
yeah.
I today I feel like that I'm tired and I'm not getting everything from the music like I want. But uh, for what I have heard so far with my tired ear, is it's a good song. I like it,
Thank you.
and I'm able to give you a feedback more tomorrow. I will let
That's
you know.
perfect. It's on the internet, so it's not going away, and like it's
Yeah,
there now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But it was like, it's about more than 5 minutes, and it didn't felt that is 5 minutes. So for me, it's always something good when a song feels that is shorter, because I was like, okay, I need to re-listen to the song if it feels shorter in a certain way, if you get what I'm saying.
yeah, that was the thing, because like quite a lot of stuff happens in the song, right? Like even if it is a kind of mid-tempo, it marches on, but quite a bit happens in the song that it, like, even if it has like a bit more than 5 minutes in length, it doesn't get, boring. Some
Mm,
songs, like 5 minutes, it's like, okay, well, they should have cut this part and then it would be perfect. Uh, I, I don't think we could have cut anything from the song. We were thinking about doing a radio edit, for like the Latin American markets of those, because they tend to kind of prioritize songs that are like 4 minute, max 4 minutes. And
okay.
and we were thinking about doing a radio edit, and then we were like, we did a couple of like takes, and we were just like, no, it just butchers the song. Like all the parts in the song are important to the song, and it just makes the song way worse if you cut anything out. So we
Mm,
left it as it is, right?
yeah, yeah. And you were talking that there is another single coming at some point.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell about it? And do you have any idea when should it be released, more or less?
So we're aiming for mid-April, like 4 or 5 weeks from now. We haven't settled on a date yet, but probably somewhere mid-April. Um, the song is called Written in Blood. Uh, these two really go kind of hand in hand. So if this is about starting the revolution, then the next one is really, okay, you're in it, you're fighting against, you're shooting the tyrants in the face, right? So that's more of a, it's not as like, okay, rise up and take, take your place, but it's more, the nitty gritty, in the trenches, fighting tyrants. But it's more lyrically, it's more in the vein that what we did on the first album, a bit more vague, and but like, you know it's a very classic, straightforward heavy metal song. Jesse, the song is written by Jesse, our guitar player, by lyrics by me, but the song is by Yes, and yeah, it's a bit heavier, bit more kind of, yeah, faster, more aggressive, um, very much a kind of in your face, it punches you in the face, kind of I wouldn't say speed metal, but like power metal, heavy metal, sort of a track. Um, it was a well, we recorded both of those at the same time. Written in Blood is actually quite old. So it's quite old, but it also got like a completely new life when we started working on it as a band. And I think Jesse even said like at some point when we were doing like the demos or even at the studio, he was like, "Yeah, I didn't know about the song. I didn't really like it when we first started, like when we selected this one, but now it's like, yeah, it's gotten like a fresh new, you know, uh, makeover in the sense that it turned from like the initial demo didn't have as much happening as it has now, and now it's very we're very proud of it. I think it's the better song of the two. Um, that's just my opinion. And he also has like the vocals are very much like in the sense of like Blind Guardian-esque layered vocals, a lot of like mass in the vocals, and then after the like kind of second chorus, we go into a kind of very evil guitar solo. It's really good. Um, I think we're gonna probably publish the release date in the next couple of weeks. We still have to shoot a video for it, so we're still working on on some of the stuff, but yeah, that's gonna happen in the next coming weeks. And then we're recording a third one now, which is then very much a completely different animal. So we're moving away from the on the third single. We're not doing any revolution stuff. It's a song called Children of Hurin, which is a Tolkien story, Middle-earth story. It's my favorite story by J.R.R. Tolkien, who's my favorite author. And yeah, the song is well about that specific Tolkien story, and that's more on the Iron Maiden kind of side of the scale, where we finished recording the guitars and the bass and guitars this week. So next week I'm gonna start with the vocals, and that will have probably 60 different vocal tracks. So I have my job ahead of me, but it will be massive. It will be a very love letter to Iron Maiden, love letter to Queen and Blind Guardian, and also love letter to J.R.R. Tolkien. So that we're planning on releasing hopefully early May, but we'll see.
Okay, so quite close anyway.
Yeah, yeah, we're trying to not have a long release, like a long time in between songs. What we wanted to do, because we released the album last year in January, and then we haven't released anything new, and we don't have an album's worth of songs yet, so we couldn't go into like studio and record a whole album. So what we decided is that okay, we're gonna take these three songs and release them as singles uh, independently, and those are then released only as singles. So those won't be included in any albums, anything like this. Those will be solely like digital exclusives. And then we need to finish writing our next album. We have I think 8 or 9 songs currently. We want to get to like 10 or 11, and then we want to kind of decide which ones are going to be on the album, and then rehearse, do the pre-production phase, and then we hope to be done with recording the album by the end of the summer.
Okay, sounds good and busy.
Yeah, yeah, you know, it's luckily nowadays you don't have to lock yourself into a studio for 2 weeks. You can, do
Yeah,
stuff on the evenings, on the weekends. So it's ambitious, but I think it can be done. So
yeah, yeah. So, talking about live music now, you have been touring this year quite a lot since January, and you still have until mid May, more or less, early
yeah,
May. And now you have been playing also outside of Finland. Uh, at the end of January you play in Stockholm.
Hmm.
So how was that experience?
We did actually Stockholm and Gothenburg, so we did both,
Okay, yeah.
and that was really nice. It was amazing, an amazing trip we did with another new wave of Finnish heavy metal band, Crimson Day. Um, and yeah, it was super great. We started in, actually it's a suburb of Stockholm called Jakobsberg, um, at a bar called Fredagsmangel, and super nice place to play, and such a great audience. Like, yeah, it's rare when you see, like, you go into a different country, nobody knows who you are, right? And then, or you think that nobody knows who you are because it's, you're outside of your normal circle, right? And then both the shows, like, a lot of people showed up. People were super psyched, super excited to be there. Obviously, we had two Swedish bands each night to also play, but, like, especially in Gothenburg, it was amazing. We played this organizer called, who does this, these, I think he goes by the name Delzebub, and he organizes these metal gigs in a bar called Rock Bar, and we played there, and like, there were people who actually, like, knew our lyrics to our songs, and they were there to see us, and it was great. It was such a good trip. Um, Wish it could have been longer, but we're definitely going back. So cheers to anybody. Cheers to everyone in Sweden. You're not done with us yet. So that was great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's been really good. We've been playing a lot. I think we did, like, I don't know, 12, 13 songs last year. Songs, sorry, gigs last year, and then we had to cancel a couple of gigs from this spring, but not cancel, move them to after the summer, because of scheduling issues. Um, and then, yeah, we're doing another swing at the Baltics in April and May. So we're doing Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And then, yeah, I mean, we're a live band. Our live show is that's our
It's
thing,
the
right? So
show.
yeah, so we're very glad that we get to go and play these shows. We're actually playing tomorrow at my hometown, in Aka, which is next to Tampere, a small town. So we're playing there with another alliance band called Chainline, and yeah, it's kind of a single release party for us. So I'm a bit nervous to go back to my roots because that's where I'm from. I moved to Tampere when I was 18, but, like, I grew up there. I still know a bunch of people who live there. My parents are gonna be, so yeah, it's gonna be probably the show that I'm gonna be most nervous about for a while.
Yeah, yeah. But that's nice. You need sometimes to be, a bit nervous. It makes it break the routine.
Yeah,
And but I saw you last. It's more or less 1 year ago. Is it 1 year ago?
yeah. I don't know where it was. I can take a look. It
Almost.
was
It
in
was
Pori,
it
was
was in
it?
Pori,
Yeah,
and yeah, maybe it was it May?
it was May. Yeah, mid-May.
Yeah, because yeah, it was the two
The Massis
nights.
Brewery thingy.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, your show was very nice. You have the whole package, so I suggest everybody to check your music first of all, but also if the people have the chance to go and see you live, because it's something that people need to see. And I always big bands, yeah, we enjoy big bands, but sometimes the smaller band are better live. there is that something more, and I have seen so many good, very very good band, and I wish that all those bands get recognition. So I hope that you get all the recognition that you deserve.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That really warms my heart. And yeah, I mean, because we do put a lot of effort into our live shows. Like we are kind of idea behind our shows is that well, we want to make a kind of stadium show, but for small stages, right? So there are costume changes, and there's sword fights, and there's confetti cannons, and all this sort of choreographies and stuff like this that we really put a lot of effort, and we're working on a couple of new things for our live thing that we hope to be able to add into it after the summer, because we're still a small band, so we don't have all the money in the world, so we have to think like, okay, well, we can't use pyro effects because that will burn every place down. So what do we do then? Like, and also like, yeah, some stuff we can't just like go and buy, you know, big production grade equipment because those cost thousands of euros. So we have to figure out with like, okay, well, can we do this with 20 euros? And then we, do a kind of a do it yourself way. And so we're figuring some stuff out that we're always trying to think of ways of taking our live concert to the next level. And we have a couple of ideas in our sleeve now that hopefully we can debut after the summer.
Can't wait to see something. At least I don't think that I'm going to make to to gigs. I'm not sure. Never, never, never say never. Um, but in case, I hope that all those new things are going to be uh, immortalized in a video, so I can enjoy that.
I think they will. And yeah, tomorrow we're gonna film some stuff, which we then release in YouTube and later on. But yeah, once we get a couple of new songs into our live roster, there's gonna be some interesting stuff we can do that tie into the lyrics thematically. I've been reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson lately, and there's a song on the coming to the new album that's about the Mistborn trilogy. So we're thinking of implementing some theatrical elements into doing that live and bringing that kind of book series to live in a heavy metal way. So that should be interesting.
That sounds great. But talking about next gigs that are coming, okay, you're playing now those gigs this spring. Do you have any summer festival show?
We have one in Riihimäki, but I'm not sure how much I can talk about it yet. So we have something planned, and hopefully it's going to work out. It's a festival that is being kind of organized on. It's a root level kind of thing. So it's not like a big festival or anything like this, but organized by some of our friends, and but still open to the public. So once we have more information on that, we're gonna obviously share, but that's gonna be in August. We made a conscious decision to kind of um, focus on the new album during this summer. Because also we've been playing a lot of these same songs for like 2 years, so we want to get into a shape where we can debut more than one song. Revolution is obviously in our set and has been for a while, but and written in blood as well. I mean, we've debuted it live, but yeah, we wanna kind of get the album done. We have one festival lined up, then we have a couple of shows in the fall we're doing Suistoklubi in August, and then in Hämeenlinna, and then we're doing a kind of Lapland, Rovaniemi and Oulu thing in I think September. I'd have to check the dates. And we hope to get to Pori as well. We want to do Pori and Seinäjoki as well because we haven't been there for a while. So we want to do those, and then Helsinki before the end of the year. And then I think that's going to be it for the rest of the year. So maybe 8 more shows after the summer. Obviously, if something comes up, then we're not saying no to any possibilities. But yeah, then next year we're gonna come out with a bang with the new album, and hopefully do some summer festivals here, and maybe in Europe as well. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. But now we are at the end of this interview, so thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Would you
you.
like to say something to your fans and people that are watching this?
Yeah, the revolution is here. So go listen to Revolution. If this comes out after Written in Blood is out, then go listen to that as well. Our album is also there, so Thieves in the Night is still, available. So go get it. If you're in the UK, there's going to be some interesting news around our first album. You might be able to go buy it somewhere, but I don't know if I can talk about that yet. But yeah, go listen to it. Also follow us on socials, Neverfade Finland, and yeah, let's see you in the shows. Thanks for having me. It was a great talk. Thanks.